Midsegments of triangles. What is a midsegment? A segment connecting the midpoints of two sides of the triangle. What is special about it? A midsegment is always parallel to the third side of the triangle. The midsegment is always half the length of the third side. What it looks like. TR is parallel to ZY, this side and this side. TR is half of ZY, or 2 times TR is equal to ZY. Please copy this and let me explain. So midsegment is, here you have a side XY. This is the side of this triangle. This is the side of this triangle, right? The midpoint of X and Y is R. You see this right here? That's the midpoint, middle of this side. So this is half-half, okay? Exact half-half. Look at this side. The T is in the midpoint of X and Y, X and Z, right here. This is in the middle. When you connect this midpoint, half of this side, those 2 points, midpoint of each side, and connect that, this is called mid-segment, because this is a segment using midpoints of each side. So TR is the mid-segment. And mid-segment is always parallel to the third side of the triangle. So this is side 1, side 2, side 3. These are always, these two are always parallel to each other. Okay? And then this midsegment right here is always half of this third side, the parallel side. So that's where this is coming from. So TR is parallel to ZY, and TR is half of ZY, or 2 times TR is ZY. So this means, these two statements means this is double, this ZY is double of TR, or TR is half of ZY. So these two statements is always true, and that's what's special about it. So this is called midsegment. Use midpoint of each side, and that's midsegment, always parallel to the third side, and then always half of that, okay? That's the definition. So using the coordinate methods with midsegments, let's fill in the blank. Given a triangle, you can find the midpoint of each side using the midpoint formula. Fill in the blank. Show a midsegment is parallel to the third side by using that they have the same slopes. Show a midsegment is half the length of the third side by using the distance formula. So when you have coordinates, XY coordinates, these are 3 things that you're going to use, okay, to find the midsegments, right? So please write this down, and we're going to follow this, okay? So first, you can use midpoint formula. Second, you can use that midsegment is parallel to the third by using slopes, same slopes. They're going to have same slope, and then rise over run. And then the third, you can use the midsegment is half the length of the third side of the triangle by using the distance formula. So let me show you that. So let's fill in the blank using coordinate methods with midsegment. Show that midsegment PQ is parallel to DE and is half as long. So you got to prove that right here. So right here, we're going to prove this is a midsegment because you have a side one section, and that's the midpoint of CD. And then this side, the midpoint of CE is Q. When you connect those two midpoints, this is called mid-segment. You have a segment, right? Mid-segment is segment connected by two midpoints. So QP is a mid-segment. That is the only mid-segment. There's no other mid-segment. This triangle only has one mid-segment here. Only one. QP. Then what's this? DE. That's the third side. Side 1, side 2, first side, second side, third side. Okay? So you have to show that this mid-segment QP is parallel to DE and is as half as long. So you gotta use coordinate. If they're on the coordinate, you have to prove that these two are parallel because the slope, look at the slope. By using the coordinate, if it's on a graph, you can find slope from Q to P. How? This Q is x is 1, y is 2. This P is x is 2, y is 3. So you do the slope formula. y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. 3 minus 1 over 2 minus 1 is 1 over 1, which is 1. So these two have slope of 1. Look at D and E. You want to see if they are parallel to each other, they're going to have same slope. If they have same slope, you can prove that they are parallel to each other. Right here. You can use the slopes. If they have the same slope, they're parallel. That is given. Okay? So I'm going to find slope for DE. E is 3, 0. D is 5, 2. So you do y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. 2 minus 0 is 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. So this has the same slope as this. That means if two lines like this is same slope, that means they are parallel to each other. Remember in algebra, when you have same slope, the lines are parallel. So that is how you prove. So you have to write PQ is parallel to DE. Write that down on your paper. Because M, the slope is 1 for this, slope is 1 for this. Because they have same slope. Okay? So please write this on your paper. Now next one, PQ is half long as DE. You gotta prove it mathematically when you have coordinates, when it's on a graph. So you're going to use distance formula. Okay? How do you use that? You're going to do DE has 5, 2, and 3, 0. You're gonna use that for distance formula. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay? 8 is same thing as 2 radical 2. Okay? So 2 square root of 8 divided by 2. Square root of 8 divided by 2 should be this one. PQ. So right here, you're going to use distance formula also. 3 minus 2 minus 1 square plus 3 minus 2 square. Add them and do the square root. You get square root of 2. Okay? And then this is half of this. If you do square root of 8 divided by 2, you get radical 2. Okay? Because 8, if you do that on the calculator, they're going to be equivalent. So, radical 8 is 2 radical 2, if you simplify. If I divide this by 2, then 2 cancel out, you have radical 2 left, which is this. That's the distance between here and here when you use the distance formula. So that's why this is also, you can prove that these two are, PQ is half of DE by using the distance formula, which says right here. Show a mid-segment is half the length of the third side by using the distance formula. So you use the distance formula, find the distance here, using these points. Okay? And if this is half of this number-wise, then it is a mid-segment. So let's look at the next one. How do you know if JK and KL are mid-segments? So you're going to fill this in, JK and AB. So first, you're going to connect midpoints. So find JK right here and then AB. So right here, guys, JK is a midpoint of these two sides. So midsegment, I mean. That means it's going to be, look at the bottom. You see how these two are parallel? So that means if this is 10, what is half of 10, which is 5? So JK is 5. Because this is a midsegment, they're parallel to each other, so it's going to be half size. Okay? And look here. Look at this blue part. If this is 6, okay, that means this is a midpoint, is right here, and right here AC is also midpoint. That means this side, and this is the third side now. We're looking at it this way. That means this 6 is parallel to this, and this is midsegment. So this one and this one is double. So 6 times 2 is 12 right here, right? So this will be half of this blue side. This is the third side now, because the midpoint goes this way, this side and this side, you know. So that's why JK is 5. JK is 5 because it's 10 divided by 2, 5. And then AB, this whole thing is 6 times 2, which is 12. Don't worry about these two. We're not going to do these two. So what are the coordinates for QR? Right here. Okay. So QR will be, Q will be, if you have AB for coordinate 0, 0 and CO, if they're not giving you numbers, then QR, the coordinates for QR, the points are AB, A plus 0 is A, divided by 2. It's going to be half, okay? Because midpoint means half. And then B plus 0 divided by 2. So B plus 0 is B divided by 2. So this one is A over 2, B over 2, because we don't know what A and B is. What I'm trying to say is the midpoint is half between these 2 points. So midsegment, midpoint is half. Then what is the coordinates for R by using algebra? A plus C divided by 2, that's your X. B plus 0 is B divided by 2, which is your Y. So you can write algebraically like this. Basically, you add X divided by 2, you add Y divided by 2. Same thing for the R. A plus C divided by 2, B plus 0 divided by 2. So those are the coordinates. So why is QR parallel to MP? QR connects the midpoint. You see this marking? This is the midpoint, this midpoint. So if they connect by 2 midpoints on the left and the right, you see the red and the blue, then QR is midsegment. That means this line and this line, these 2 segments are parallel to each other. So what is MP? So MP is C, because from 0 to C, if you look at the x-axis, that will be the distance from 0. Let's say C is 5, then the MP, the distance will be 5. So the distance will be C. So write MP equals C. Then what is QR? Half of C, right? Because QR, this midsegment is half of third side all the time, always. So you're going to write C over 2. QR is C over 2. Now, if you don't understand why MP, the distance of MP is C, I can explain that in class. Let's look at the next one. So look at the big triangle. Which segment is parallel to XY? So XY is right here. There's TU. So TU is parallel to XY because it's the midsegment. And it's ST right here, the red lines, is parallel to YZ? Yes, because ST is a midsegment of this side. And then find YZ. So YZ right here is 4 times 2 because these are parallel. This is a midsegment. So it's double 8. And then XY is 5 times 2 because you see that blue lines, 5 times 2, that's a midsegment. 5 times 2, so XY is also is 10. So you can write YZ is 8, XY is 10. So look at the color. Those are parallel and midsegments. The rest of the notes, we're going to do it in class. So stop right here. Your homework ends right here.